I don't know if I'm really qualified to talk on this topic, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I think I'm qualified enough. Now, to those of you who do not know me, I'm Catherine York. Who those of you who do know me, I'm your favorite writer. While my job is one thing, I really wanted to make this video because I feel like, why not? Like, I feel like I want to connect with you guys, and if this is something that like does that, like, why not do it? A lot of you have told me like, oh my god, you look perfect. Like, what do you do for your hair? What do you do for your face? Like, how do you do your makeup? How, like, you dress so impeccably, like you have this and that and you're so aesthetic. And I love every single comment. Like, I love every single compliment. And I feel so proud because it was a journey. Like, I wasn't born perfect. Like, it was a journey and it was an experience for me to become who I wanted to become. And I am at a place where I'm so happy with where I am that I want to thank myself for pushing through my goals, staying committed, and getting where I wanted to get and becoming that it girl. So I'm gonna start with the most important one before I head into the physical. And the first one is mindset. You have to have the right mindset to become the it girl. Now, for me, it was the other way around. Like, I was focusing on the physical first. I was like, I have to lose weight. I have to dye my hair. I have to have this haircut. I have to have this sort of clothes. So all my life, I was focusing on improving the physical. Now, don't get me wrong, it's important, but the mindset was what I was supposed to work on first. Anyways, I decided to gather some money that I had and start buying things that, one, flatter my body. So I went into studying a lot about like what type of body I have. Like, I went through all these quizzes and like found what kind of clothes look best on my body, what pronounces like the best shape on my body. And then I went and studied color theory, and by studied I mean I watched so many, like tons of YouTube videos just to know what I was doing. So like it was a self-study process. And I got into color theory and I was like, okay, this color looks good on me, this color looks bad on me. It changed everything for me. So I was focusing on that. After that, I purchased some clothes. Like, I was doing this month by month. Like, I took it one step at a time, but I was improving little by little. Like, because like now when I look back at it, like, it wasn't like overnight process. It was like step by step, little by little. And like, people don't notice it right away, but then eventually somebody will like snap back and be like, something's different about you. Like, you look amazing. Even though they might have seen you like consecutively, they would not have noticed until one point. So that's why you shouldn't give up and you should focus on your goal, like staying committed. Now, that part I got it covered, like check. And it wasn't until I think the biggest thing on my list was like losing weight. So struggling all my life with that, I was like, okay, like I really need to work on this. And during the pandemic, I really focused on like exercising, eating healthy, being as active as I could in the little window that we had for freedom. I lost weight. Now, I'm still in the process of it, like to get my ideal body. Like, it's not that I'm not happy with where I am, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty content. Of course, I'm a perfectionist, so that's a story for another time. But I was like, okay, I'm perfect. And you know what happened? Like, this happened, and I watched, there is a scene from this a TV show called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And there is this scene where two mothers talk, and they're gossiping about this girl who used to be very ugly and very tall, and then overnight she became beautiful. Basically, she went somewhere for the summer, came back beautiful, and they're like, now she's a beautiful girl with an ugly girl personality. Now, it was funny, like it was meant to be comedy, but it stuck in my head because that's what I had become. Like, I had become the beautiful girl with an ugly girl mindset, because I constantly like felt myself like, oh, this is not good enough, like I have to do better, like I can do better, like I know I can do better. So let me work on that. So I was approaching situations as if I wasn't already there. Huge difference, huge difference. That's why I said mindset. It's big to become the it girl. So having that, I was like, okay, I need to start thinking like a pretty girl. So I started applying more confidence when I was making decisions, when I was doing things, when I was like walking into a store and demanding something, when I was setting boundaries, when I was going on dates. Like I was thinking like a person who had it all, who was given the world, and nobody could like lower my standards because of that. Huge difference in the way people treat me. People want to treat people nicely, but you have to like coax them into it. Like you have to make them do it. You have to set an example. So that's the first one, mindset. The second one, like I said, physical things. So like you have to invest a little bit of time into creating the best version of yourself. Like I said, studying, I love studying. Like I don't know why, but like school studying and like studying in general is like two different things, but like studying about things I find interesting and I'm passionate about, it's perfect. Like I would spend time on that. So if you want to like really work on your physical appearance, that's what I say, study. Like don't go into things blindly. Don't just like slap makeup on your face and like go and buy the most expensive contour or buy expensive clothes without knowing like, oh, like is the color right for me, is the material right for me, and other things. And the third one is habit, discipline. How do I name this? Like, let's go with habits. It's getting yourself to do things that you wouldn't normally do right now. I think big part of becoming an it girl while having these other things is having a ritual for yourself. Like something you know you can rely on. And I learned this very recently, and that's why I had to add it to the list, because I started being consistent in my habits. I said I want to be one of those Pilates girlies, or a gym girl. Like that's something I want to do. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to be Pilates girly, I have to sign for a class and be consistent with it. So I started going this summer around June. I stayed consistent. I tried my best not to miss a class. And every time I would go there, I would push myself. Now, for me, the right thing was like going into a class because I work better when there are other people supporting me and we're having fun, and I don't have to, it doesn't feel like I'm forcing myself to do it. So that's why I went to a class with other people. But if you don't feel comfortable, you can do another thing, of course. But the thing was like, I wanted to like incorporate a habit. Now, another habit you can do is like walking your dog every day in a specific time. Another habit you can do is like cooking a specific meal once per week. Another thing you can do is like having a ritual in the morning, but something you can stay consistent with, something you wouldn't waver from. It makes a huge difference. Like I love looking at challenges on YouTube, and challenges as in waking up 7 days this week at 5 a.m. in the morning. I was like, okay, I want to try this. Like, let me see what kind of attitude would I have if I would get up every day at 5 a.m. and do these certain things. There was one period in my life when I would get up at 5 a.m. and I would go run into the nearest forest that I have here. It's a wonderful park. And I would take my dog with me. And I did this for a full month. Like, I was like, okay, let me let me do this. It didn't occur to me to do it ever again, but that month when I was doing it every day, like I wasn't even thinking about, like, I would hear the alarm and I wouldn't even try to talk myself out of it. Like I would literally put the blanket away, and this was the summer I was doing, so it was a bit easier to get up early because it's brighter outside. So I got to do that, and it was amazing, and I think it kind of like shaped me. Like I know I can stay consistent on something if I want to now. Like I know I'm that girl because like honestly I have my life in control. Like I'm in control, and I cannot tell you how much of a powerful feeling it is when you stay in control. I think that's pretty much it. As a bonus, I would probably say, and I'm the person who wants to cheer everybody on to stay committed to their passions. I think to be an it girl, you have to have a part of your heart committed to yourself, committed to your passion, committed to what you want to do. So whether that is photography, doing designs in Canva, drawing, painting, like whatever your passion is, like whatever you feel like, oh, I really want to do this, it makes me so happy. I think you need to have like a time for that and a willingness to shut the rest of the world out and do it and commit to your passion, because I feel like it makes you be true to yourself. And when you're true to yourself, when you have that control, when you have that freedom, it makes a whole lot of difference. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next one.